morning, Year 11. So this is for students who are doing A-level English language in Year 12, and they have received from me via email and hopefully from Mr. Teasdale as well. They've received the transition tasks, the things that you can have a go at during the holiday, this weird time, okay, to make sure that you've done as much as you can ready for September. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about the first transition task now. Remember, you don't have to do them all. So I'm going to try and put something up for each of them. I think there are 6. So choose the ones you want to do, but spend quite a lot of time on them. They might take you hours. They might take you a long time. So really think about which one you're going to do and start to make a folder so everything sort of stays together. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about the children's literature one. There's a question about, is there a gender imbalance in children's literature? So there's been loads and loads of studies in the past about how girls and boys are represented, and adults, men and women, are represented, and all sorts of different genders now are represented in children's literature. And children's books are really important for babies and young children to kind of learn about the world and what's expected of them, and the social norms and how the world works. So if you learn that all the firefighters are men, and if you learn that all the caregivers are women, if you learn those things in children's books from a very young age, that's kind of what you understand about the world. And so it puts sort of expectations and limits on what you think can happen when you grow up. So it's very subtle, but those things, we get little messages all the time, I suppose, about how we're expected to behave in society. So what I want you to do is to go and do a study of children's books, and you can do that with looking on Amazon, looking on Waterstone's website, and just having a look at the titles of books for children, the main characters in the books for children. And if you've got some books at home, that's brilliant, that's really good, because actually you can have a look inside and you can sort of think about how they're described, what noun and adjectives are used to describe the girls and the boys, and what verbs and adverbs are used to describe the girls and boys, and are they different, and what does that do? Also things like the occupations that they're given. Are they firefighters? Are they male nurses? Are they female doctors? And how does all that work? So you could have a look at how they're described, their occupations, but there are also lots of studies about primary characters and secondary characters, active characters and passive characters. So there's lots of studies into the hero and the heroine, or the victim, or the vulnerable person, or the baddie, or the goodie. So having a look at who they are and how they have been constructed. They do say that in most children's books, the male character is the active one, and the female character is the passive one, and can only get things resolved, but can only get it resolved because of the help of a male character. So look at that. Maybe things are different now. They say that actually in the 1930s, it was more equal than it's ever been, and it's getting worse and worse. So have a look. There are a whole new load of books out now that actually are challenging those things and showing sort of gender norms and how they can be, rather than sort of setting us up for things that society's expected us to be in the past. So have a think about, do we see stereotypical characters? How are they constructed? How are they represented? How are they speaking? What about dialogue? Are the boys in charge? Are the girls in charge? All those sorts of things, okay? So start to have a look. If you can look at a few books, that's brilliant, that's really good. Now, a good one to start with, and you might just look online, is Little Miss and Mr. Men, because you can say quite a lot just from the titles. So I've got some here. So we've got Little Miss Prim, Little Miss Dotty, Little Miss Tidy, Little Miss Shy, Little Miss Neat, Little Miss Careful. Are those stereotypical? There are other ones as well, but there's those. And then there's Mr. Men. There's Mr. Strong, Mr. Brave, Mr. Mischief, Mr. Bossy, Mr. Tickle. Get those hands away. I mean, that's dodgy in itself, isn't it? So all of those sorts of things. Have a look at children's books. You can have a look at adult books as well if you want. So have a look at the characters and see how they're represented. Graphology is interesting as well. So the use of images. Graphology is graphics. So have a look at how that's used. Okay, so is there a gender imbalance in children's books? All right, have fun. Off you go. See you soon. Bye.